Hey guys, what's up? I'm Rohit Khurana, your host on Intellect Digest, and this is an epic comparison. In this video, I'm going to compare 6 flagships head-on, which includes the Samsung Galaxy Note 4, the iPhone 6 Plus, Nexus 6 from Motorola, LG G3, HTC One M8, as well as the Moto X 2014 edition. I'm going to compare these mighty flagships against each other on 6 parameters and then rate them as top phone and the runner-up phone in each category, and towards the end of the video we'll sum up the comparison by telling you which one stands the best out of these 6 phones. I'll compare them on the basis of performance and battery life, design and build quality. I'll talk about the audio quality, camera quality. We'll also talk about the multitasking as well as productivity factor of these large screen devices. I'll start with performance and battery life. When we talk about performance, Samsung Galaxy Note 4 is just about at the top of these phones. It runs using a Snapdragon 805 chipset, which is clocked at 2.7 GHz. It has 3 gigs of RAM and is fairly loaded and performance oriented. This is one of the top specs that you can get in the smartphone series these days. When it comes to battery, it features a 3220 mAh battery, and as per my regular usage, it is lasting for 1 to 1.5 days easily. The iPhone 6 Plus, another large screen device, is fairly capable when it comes to performance, but the numbers on paper are not that impressive. It is powered by an A8 chip which is clocked at 1.4 GHz dual core, but still it stands very well at the benchmarks and gives you really good real life performance. It gives you a good battery life with the 2915 mAh battery that it has, and easily lasts from 1 to 2 days with moderate usage. Next in line we have the LG G3, which also does really well when it comes to performance, but this is powered by a Snapdragon 801 chipset clocked at 2.5 GHz. It has 3 GB of RAM and a 3000 mAh battery, which is good enough to take you through one full day of usage, sometimes even more depending on how you use this phone. The next flagship by HTC, the HTC One M8, is also a very strong contender. It also features the same 801 chipset that you find on the LG G3. It is also clocked at 2.5 GHz. It has 2 gigs of RAM, unlike the Note 3 and LG G3 which have 3 gigs. And in terms of battery, it has a 2600 mAh battery, but because of its smaller screen at 5 inch, the display does not put too much load on the battery, and the battery optimization will still make it last for 1 to 1.5 days easily. Next, I'll talk about the Nexus 6 from Motorola and Google. The Nexus 6 is also a very potent device when it comes to performance. It gives you a Snapdragon 805 chipset, which is again top of the line, is clocked at 2.7 GHz, and it also gives you a decent battery life. It has a 3220 mAh battery, which is exactly same as the Samsung Galaxy Note 4. And as per our initial test, the battery is also lasting almost similar 1 to 1.5 days on moderate usage. And the last one here is the 2014 Motorola Moto X. It deserves a mention because it also features a powerful Snapdragon 801 processor, again clocked at 2.5 GHz, has 2 gigs of RAM and a 2300 mAh battery. The battery is not as long lasting as on other smartphones because of the size of this phone and performance capabilities. The battery is slightly undersized, but it will still manage to do one full day of usage if you are using it moderately. If you are a heavy user, you may run out of battery before the end of the day. So my top 2 picks for performance and battery life are the Samsung Galaxy Note 4, which is at the first place, followed by closely the Motorola Google Nexus 6, which secures the second place or runner-up place in performance and battery department. Next, I'll talk about another very important aspect, which is the design and build quality of the phones. I'll first talk about the Samsung Galaxy Note 4. This time it is made up of a metallic frame, so there is metal all around, and as soon as you hold it in your hand, after holding the other flagship phones, you will realize the difference. The fox leather finish at the back gives you a premium touch. The sides, which are made up of metal, give you a sturdy feeling, and the Gorilla Glass 4 at front with 2.5D melting corners give you a nice and smooth touch. In terms of build quality, design, this phone is among the best designed large screen phones that we have seen recently. Besides having a large display, it still does feel good to hold it in one hand and use it with one hand. The iPhone 6 Plus is second on our list, which comes with a premium metallic and glass design. There is metal all around at the rear and glass all around at the front. It has rounded corners this time, a deviation from the previous generation 5S, but it does feel good. A bit of downsides on the design front is protruding camera lens which comes out from the rear layer. So in case you are pocketing it in a tight pocket, it may create some problems. It may tangle with other stuff and create a problem. And at the same time, it's slightly slippery because of the large dimensions and slippery metal edges on the side. But if you look at it in isolation, this is a pretty good device and looks very neat and nice. The LG G3, which is next on our list, has a nice curved design. The buttons have been moved to the rear under the camera module, where you have the power and wake up key in the middle and the volume rockers above and below that. It is one of the most ergonomic phones that I have seen in this size segment. With a large display, it is still easy to use, and it has slim edges and it is slightly thicker at the middle, so it's easy to grip and easy to hold. It does not slip out of your hand and has a very nice design. The only downside is that besides being a flagship, it uses plastic, which looks slightly cheap compared to other flagship phones. HTC One M8 does not require any introduction when it comes to design. It is one of the most well-built phones. It comes with all metal and glass design. It's very solid, very sturdy, probably one of the best phones that we have seen so far. But there is also a small flaw because of the slim profile as well as metallic sides on this phone. It tends to slip out of your hand and you may accidentally drop it. However, it will not break so easy because it is very sturdy phone. In design department, we find it to be one of the most attractive phones around in the flagship phones. Next, I'll talk about the Motorola Google Nexus 6, which is again a very nicely built phone, has a metal casing all around, a soft touch back, and gives you an ergonomic feel because it is again curved, slim at the edges, thicker at the middle, so it's easy and natural to hold. The buttons have been moved towards the lower side of the phone so that they are easy to reach out and they are more ergonomic to use. It feels overall very nice in hand, but it is slightly larger compared to other phones. It is with the largest display, which makes one-handed usage difficult on this phone. You will more often than not end up using it with two hands. The new Motorola Moto X 2014, which is itself a very large screen device with a 5.2-inch display, seems smaller compared to other smartphones which are 5.5 or higher. This is a nice and ergonomically designed phone, uses metal casing, but the back quality is kind of soft, but it is not very durable looking. It tends to chip off and scratch easily. So the back quality could have been slightly better. Probably you can buy a bamboo wood finish or something else which gives you a better durability. In terms of design, this is also a good phone, but it is not on top of our list. So coming to the winners of the design and build quality, I find the Samsung Galaxy Note 4 to be the best among these phones, and it secures #1 place, and the HTC One M8, which is a very beautiful phone, comes at second place with nice metallic and glass build, feels very sturdy, so it secures #2 on our list. Next, I'm going to talk about the display quality, which also matters a lot, and I'll start with the Samsung Galaxy Note 4 because this is one of the most beautiful displays in this category. It is a 5.7-inch Super AMOLED display which comes with great saturation and very vivid colors. It gives you Quad HD display resolution, which is 2560 by 1440, which is among the best that you get on these phones, and it comes with 515 pixels per inch pixel density and also uses Gorilla Glass 4, which no other phones in this flagship series has yet. Next, I'll talk about the iPhone 6 Plus. Besides not being a Quad HD or very high resolution display, it still is a very beautiful display and gives you superb display quality. This is a full HD display, uses an oleophobic coating to prevent fingerprints. It's a shatterproof glass, probably not Gorilla Glass, some other proprietary glass by Apple, and it still gives you a good and decent display quality. The next flagship that we have here is the LG G3, which again comes with super clear IPS LCD display and gives you a super sharp display resolution of 2560 by 1440, which is same as you get on the Samsung Galaxy Note 4. This is a Quad HD display. With a 5.5-inch display and QHD display resolution, it manages to give you 534 pixel per inch, which makes the display super sharp. The HTC One M8, which is again a very beautiful phone which comes with super clear LCD 3, but this does not come with a QHD display. This is a full high definition display, but nevertheless the display quality and the contrast ratios are very good. This phone looks very nice when coming to display quality, and it gives you a 5-inch, which is relatively smaller display, but the benefit is that you can easily use it with one hand. The Motorola Google Nexus 6 is the largest of the lot with 5.96, approximately 6-inch display. It comes with Quad HD display resolution, which is 2560 by 1440, same as the Note 4. This is again an AMOLED display, which you will find only on the Moto X, the Samsung Galaxy Note 4, and the Nexus 6 in the flagship series that we are reviewing today. And lastly, we have the Moto X 2014 second generation, which comes with a 5.2-inch full high definition display, which gives you sharp colors and nice viewing angle. This is again an AMOLED display which comes with super saturated colors and looks really nice. Talking about the winners in the display category, we have two clear winners, the Samsung Galaxy Note 4 and the LG G3, both with Quad HD displays and super high sharpness and good color quality. They top our chart, Note 4 at number 1 and the LG G3 at number 2. If you are an audiophile who loves to listen music on speakerphone, this section is very important for you. We'll talk about the speaker quality and audio quality from the speaker phones of these phones. I'll start with the Samsung Galaxy Note 4, which has a single speaker at the rear and it sounds loud and clear, but again this is not the best in this category. Let's move to our next phone. The iPhone 6 Plus comes with a bottom firing speaker, and this is a single speaker, again not stereo speaker, but this is louder than the Note 4 and it's more clear when it comes to audio. The LG G3 has the most subtle audio output when it compares to the other phones that we are comparing today. This is the least loud phones compared to all these and has a single speaker at the rear. The HTC One M8 is undisputedly among the best phones that we have seen with the dual front firing speakers. It comes with boom sound technology and has two speaker grills on top as well as at the bottom, which give great audio quality. Nexus 6 also comes with dual front firing speakers, just like the HTC One M8. We have a large speaker grill on top as well as bottom, and they both give you a very good stereo effect, so it is again on top of our list. The Motorola Moto X 2014 however gives an illusion that it has two front firing speakers, but it is actually only one. The bottom one is the speaker grill and top one is only the earpiece. So if you are playing music, only the bottom speaker is firing. It is loud and clear, but it is not stereo. So picking up the winners from this category was very easy. The HTC One M8 is the undisputed winner, closely followed by the Google Nexus 6, which also has dual front firing speaker. They both produce awesome stereo effects from the front firing speakers. You will enjoy your music as well as watching movies in stereo effects on both of these phones. Next, we are going to talk about another very important factor, which is the camera quality. In terms of camera, the Samsung Galaxy Note 4, which is our first phone in the series, is equipped with a 16 megapixel camera sensor which comes with optical image stabilization. It is with very fast shutter. It comes with HDR mode, which also works very fast. It gives you a lot of modes to choose from. It also lets you record in 4K, which is very high resolution videos. So in terms of camera, the rear camera works really well. There is also a 3.7 megapixel front facing camera, which does a great job at taking selfies, and with the innovative wide selfie mode, you can capture much more details in the picture by swiveling the phone in the wide selfie mode, which is the unique feature, and you do not find this feature on any other phone, any other flagship as of now. The iPhone 6 Plus, which also has a very great camera, it is only 8 megapixel, but at the same time the results are really superb. The pictures come out to be very crisp. It has optical image stabilization, which reduces the blur even in low light. It is capable of taking slow motion videos as well as recording time-lapse videos with very good quality. It gives you some really cool effects, but you cannot record in 4K. If 4K recording is your priority, Note 4 is the better camera to stick with. There is also a 1.2 megapixel front-facing camera, but don't be fooled by the number of megapixels. It still gives you very crisp and sharp selfies if you want to click pictures with the front-facing camera of the iPhone 6 Plus. LG G3 is also featured with a very powerful 13 megapixel camera, and it uses one technology which is unique to this phone, which is laser autofocus. It has a black module near the rear camera which sends out infrared beams. It is not actually laser, and that detects the depth in the frame composition and gives you very fast autofocus, faster than other phones, and gives you sharp and crisp results. This also is equipped with optical image stabilization, which further reduces the blur. So the results that you receive from the back camera are really good. On the front, you get a 2.1 megapixel camera, which gives you gesture captures. So you can do like this and it will take your selfie, which is again very cool. So in camera department, LG G3 also does very decent. Next, we'll talk about HTC One M8. Something which this phone has unique is it has two camera sensors at the rear. One is the actual 4 megapixel camera and other is the depth sensor, which actually detects how much depth is there in the real shot, and it also lets you autofocus or focus manually after you take a picture by capturing it in such a way that it knows the depth information with these two sensors. This is ultra pixel camera and has only 4 megapixels. The quality of images, if you ask me, are just about okay and good, but nothing exceptional as you find on the Note 4 as well as iPhone 6 Plus. This also does not have optical image stabilization, which sometimes make the images a little blurry. On front, you have a mighty 5 megapixel camera, which is probably the best in segment and gives you really sharp and good selfies. Next in line, we have the Motorola Google Nexus 6, and Motorola is known for not having great cameras, and Nexus 3 is also known for not having good cameras, but the Nexus 6 improves a lot upon that, but still it is far from reaching the level that Note 4 and iPhone 6 Plus have. It is not a bad camera in absolute sense, but it is still not there. The photo quality or the image results are average to good at best and not beyond that. It has optical image stabilization to reduce blurs. It can also shoot in 4K. So the camera is fairly capable on paper, but when it comes to real life results, they are just about average to good and not beyond that. On front, you have a 2 megapixel front facing camera, which does an average job at taking selfies. The Motorola Moto X 2014 is lowest among these phones when it comes to camera quality. Although on paper it has a 13 megapixel sensor at rear, but it does not produce very sharp pictures. Probably the software processing of the images is not that good, or there is some other issue, but we are not very happy with the results that we get. They are at best average but not really good. On front, you have a 2 megapixel camera, and the unique feature of this camera is that you can ask the phone to take a selfie just by activating it with the voice command, and it will take a picture of you, which is a cool thing. It does not have optical image stabilization, but it does support 4K video recording. Talking about the top two picks in camera department, number one goes to the Samsung Galaxy Note 4, very closely followed by the iPhone 6 Plus. The only downside of the iPhone 6 Plus is that it still does not give you capability to shoot in 4K. But at the same time, the slow motion video capture and time lapse are really good on this phone. The ability to capture stills with the rear camera is almost at par with both of these phones. Let's move to our last segment, which is the multitasking and productivity. When it comes to multitasking, Note series is known for their multitasking capabilities. It gives you multitasking modes like split screen modes. You can have multi-window, some windows running on top, some windows running on the bottom of the screen, and gives you a superb multitasking. With the new multitasking capabilities like floating windows and also ability to minimize them to icons, it takes the multitasking to another level. And also with the S Pen, you get some really cool productive features. You can select text, you can copy objects, you can copy images selectively, take out text from the images, and do a lot more with the S Pen stylus, which is provided with the Note series. And you do not find this functionality in any other rival phones from any other brand. Next, I'll talk about the iPhone 6 Plus, which does great at app switching because this phone has a really well optimized software, so it will give you a very cool and fast application switching without any lags or without any stutter. So the applications switching is very smooth. The apps are very efficiently put to the background and resumed from where you left them, but it still does not give you the floating window multitasking as well as running multiple applications in parallel on the same screen, which you get on the Note 4. The LG G3 also does decently when it comes to multitasking. It has a feature called Q Slide, in which you can have certain applications in pop-up window mode running parallelly on the same screen, and you can also minimize them to icon towards the right side of the screen. But there is only that much which you can do, and there are only limited set of applications that you can utilize in this mode. But nevertheless, it deserves a mention and it does what it does really well. It is still not there where the Note 4 is there. when it comes to productivity and multitasking. The HTC One M8 provides you smooth multitasking with application switching, but it ends there. It does not give you any sort of pop-up windows. It does not give you any sort of multitasking or flying window or split screen effects, but it does give you smooth application switching between applications, just like any other normal Android phone. Next, I'll talk about the Google Nexus 6, which takes multitasking to a good level because the application switching now is flying windows, which is very smooth and a very good visual way to interact with the phone, which was not there until the Android KitKat. So it does make multitasking fun, but it still does not have capability of multitasking in pop-up windows as well as split screen mode. However, the application switching from Android's perspective is very good with the Android Lollipop on the Nexus 6. And last we have the Motorola Moto X 2014, which again does very well when it comes to app switching and gives you a smooth experience because the Android here is almost stock and is not tweaked a lot. The one that we are testing here is still running Android KitKat 4.4.4 and we have not tested Lollipop on it because the updates are not yet rolled out for this when we make this video. But besides having Android 4.4, it does a really good job at application switching, but at the same time, again, it does not match up to the quality of Note 4 when it comes to productivity and multitasking. So picking up the top two picks, you must have guessed it by now. The multitasking winner is undisputedly the Samsung Galaxy Note 4, closely followed by the iPhone 6 Plus because it does app switching much better and other phones do not provide you such smooth application switching and suspending operation. So you can suspend any application in any way and then get back to it on the same screen in the same mode. So it actually saves the state of the application and gets back to it very easily and effortlessly. So iPhone 6 Plus manages to secure second place while the Note 4 remains the undisputed winner with the S Pen as well as multitasking capabilities with flying windows, minimized icons as well as split screen. And now it's time for the results and let's have a look at which phone managed to score the best among our 6 criterias. The Samsung Galaxy Note 4 stood at number 1 in 5 of the criterias out of 6. The only criteria where it does not excel is the audio quality from speaker, which is aced by the HTC One M8. The Note 4 is a very good phone overall. It is slightly on the higher side, but any case, if you are looking for a flagship device, the price should not be a concern. If you are looking for the best of the best flagship phones, Note 4 is the one to go with. Closely followed by the Note 4, we have these 3 phones which secured equal number of points in different tests. The iPhone 6 Plus because of its camera, the HTC One M8 because of its audio, and Nexus 6 for performance and display. These all are great phones if you are considering to buy. So these all secure almost the same place in number of points that they receive in different tests. This is all we have on this detailed video of comparison of the latest flagships of 2014. If you enjoyed watching this video, don't forget to give us a thumbs up. If you want to know more about these phones, I'm leaving some links in the description section where you can read the reviews of all of these phones. And I'll also leave Best Buy links in the description section. If you enjoyed watching this video and if this comparison helped you, don't forget to give us a thumbs up by pressing the like button below. For more such videos and to never miss a video from us, make sure you hit the subscribe button. This is all we have on this one. This is your host Rohit Khurana signing off. Thanks for watching.